जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस पॉलोबोटी स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दो।
The Monday Blues have been washed away by the red and yellow army. It's going to be a clash of the superstars because CSK take on RCB at the Chinnaswamy. Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher. And for this superstar-like clash, we have two superstars in the house because they are always making the news. Welcome, gentlemen. Simon and Harsha, welcome to the show. Simon.
I thought you were supposed to be telling the news. We are the news.
Well, you all tell the news, you all make the news. That's what you all do. But Simon, all okay because, well, you're making headlines all the time ever since.
Making headlines that I haven't even said.
Yes.
I'm okay with saying things and making headlines. I really am because usually Harsha will tell you, and anyone that's sat in that chair will tell you, when I say something, I actually say it and I back it up and I mean it. But when I don't say something and it makes headlines and it becomes a made-up story, I think I'm a little bit against that. It hasn't been a great week for that sort of thing. But look, I don't want to get caught up in the political jostling between two countries. I love being in India. I love being in Pakistan. And people have agendas and they write things and so be it. They try and make up stories. But it's been I think it's a bit sad, to be honest with you.
It's very sad. I mean, I've seen it this week too. Emotion and reason never go together.
Yeah.
And if reason comes in the way of what your emotion wants to hear, then it's reason that is wrong. So this is part of the territory that comes with it. But I'm a little concerned at the superstarization of cricket matches. There's 20 others playing a cricket match too. So I'm a little concerned about that because you're now telling the audiences that this is like Pathan being released. But it's a cricket match where real things happen.
Yeah.
Real things happen in spite of all, I love those Dream 11 ads, but in spite of all that, there are no retakes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned at the superstarization of the sport. There's others, yeah.
The sycophantic nature of some people, I think, is the problem. India used to be such a cricket knowledgeable place. It used to be. Well, I think parts of it are, but I think the youth, the generation, are become more about the stars than the actual game of cricket itself, and so therefore they become a little bit sycophantic and a little bit over the top at times.
But there's two stars today.
And there's massive stars on show today, and we will have it again.
Well, there are going to be massive stars today, and the news from the centre is RCB has won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. Again, no surprise there. Whoever wins the toss decides to bowl first. But just a really exciting encounter, perfectly put in because it's a Monday today. Yes, Kohli is not the captain, but it is all about Virat Kohli taking on Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
It's interesting, isn't it? You think that a Virat's RCB, it's actually Faf's RCB, but for all practical purposes for us, it's Virat's RCB against Dhoni's CSK. Would have been a great weekend viewing, but I think people know that come what may, people are going to come and watch this game. So I'm looking forward to this game. I actually don't mind a team batting first. I know it's a ground that's very difficult to defend, but you bat first and make 210, 220. It's still a score that puts pressure on the opposition. It still means Kohli's got to get off to a start. That middle order in RCB has not been tested that much, or has not stood up to the test. So it may not be such a bad thing.
But you know, if you have this one friend who you can call and say, hey, please give me a ticket today, you should keep that friend very close to you because it's impossible.
Your friend will give it to you, but...
No one can give you a ticket.
But your friend is playing.
Not even the playing 11 can give you a ticket because that's so jam-packed.
The tickets I was asked for at the hotel, because I've been in Bangalore for the last couple of days, I did the previous game down there and then stayed on yesterday. And everywhere you went, whether it be breakfast, whether it be to the swimming pool, whether it be to the spa, so do you get tickets? Sir, do you? And they want to be quiet because they don't want anyone else to hear you ask for tickets. Sir, do you get tickets?
You know,
I'm sorry, we don't get access to tickets.
But Dooley, that's a very decent leading indicator in India of how interesting the game is. There was a time when for every game in Mumbai, you would get calls asking for tickets. Now that happens in the IPL, it doesn't happen for the other games.
Oh, really?
And often,
I'll call for that.
You talk about Monday night. I mean, so often, if I can digress to another sport, Monday night football in the States, NFL, that's their big game. That's their big game of, not the weekend, but it's their big game of the round, is often Monday night football because they know that everybody is overspent, overeaten, overwatered over the weekend, and they just want to have a lazy Monday night at home and Monday night football, Monday night cricket. I think this is perfectly placed.
Perfectly placed. And well, how can you get tickets if Mahendra Singh Dhoni has come out and he has come to the toss? So the good news is he's playing. The knee in Dhoni has not been troubling today. So we are just happy to see
It's
Dhoni.
not being washed. No, sorry.
I didn't
say it. No, I didn't say it. Can you edit in real time?
Roll that back. Roll that back. Edit in
No
real time.
retakes. No retakes here. Well, but it's Dhoni. He's coming back to the Chinnaswamy after 3 years. So I'm still wondering whose noise is going to be more. If there was a way to check the noise decibels at the ground, when Dhoni comes in and bats at 8, the noise is just as much. And he loves playing at the Chinnaswamy, doesn't he?
Yeah, hopefully he won't bat at 8. But I think in this new avatar, I don't know how bad the knee is, but I think he believes that his future now lies in going and biffing the ball for 10, 15 balls at the end. And that's why he's letting all the others have a go. He also realizes that they've got to build the team. There's younger people who've got to go and bat first. But there will be a huge cheer when he comes in, because I don't think even the RCB fans will want to boo when Dhoni comes out to bat. There's the odd guy who might say, with a tongue-in-cheek, you might do
He
that.
couldn't run between the wickets the other night. Like, at the end of the innings, he could not run between the wickets. They couldn't take twos. He was really struggling. So I'll be interested to see whether he can do that if he does have to bat later on this evening or not. But look, the one place we Wankhede Stadium, I saw as much yellow as I did blue. You never see that. It's the only time you see as much yellow as the home team is when Dhoni plays. We were at Hyderabad. Same thing. You saw as much yellow as you did orange. It is just, I don't know.
Wonder,
it is quite incredible. It really is.
I just wonder if people are seeing this as a kind of farewell tour.
Yeah, and
I wonder if people are thinking that way, saying, let's go and enjoy Dhoni while we can. I mean, what a career it's been. We've been talking about whether this is your last year for 2019, 20, 21. When they won in 21, he said, but I have not gone yet.
He said it to you. He said it that,
because he seemed to hint that, and I said, you can be so proud of your legacy, but he said, but I'm not going yet.
I mean, he wanted to be at home, didn't he?
Yes.
I think if he was ever going to say goodbye, and we don't know, we don't have the insight, but you look at him and you think, I don't know that next year's an option for him. So he wanted to be at Chipok. He wanted to be back in front of his adoring fans in Chennai. And I think he wanted to be around the country as well, around India. Whereas last year we were stuck in Mumbai. And he wanted to travel the country and say farewell almost on his own accord, rather than sort of having suggestions.
Moeen Ali said this, that he's been seeing him in the nets and he feels that he has another 3 years to go. He's not going anywhere. So we can have these discussions of, is it his last at Chepok on the 14th of May? Is it his last? He'll come and do some poetry and Paldo Palka Shayar. But teammates say he has a long way to go. I was with someone from the official broadcast team 2 days ago, and they said when Dhoni comes out, the TRPs go up by 25%. Yes. That's what he does. So we can expect that today.
And I'm not surprised. And that will happen with Virat Kohli as well. We did talk about the superstarization. There's a reason, because these two people have played so well over the years. And you've got to acknowledge that there will be that happening. But it'll be interesting to see today Virat's chasing. These are the two chase masters, the two great chasers. Literally, Virat has learned to chase sitting at Dhoni's feet. So these are the two great chasers in our game. Dhoni is probably now no longer able to chase an entire innings. I'm just thinking if he's going to struggle to run between wickets, does he just come out as a pinch hitter at 4 and biff a few? Because when you bat down, you've got to run those twos at the end.
Yeah, I mean, does he...
I don't know, we'll wait and see.
Depending on what the spinners do, if Hasaranga's in, does he come out and just target Hasaranga? Do we... we might see a different side of it. I don't know. We can only speculate at the moment. But I was concerned with how he was running between the wickets the other night. He and Jadoo couldn't take twos because of that knee. So hopefully he was running around or jogging around, let's say, in the warm-up. So let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, but he has that wand. He can just put his magic wand around his knee and he'll be fine. It's Mahendra Singh Dhoni from one superstar to the other, because it is a clash of the superstars. Virat Kohli, he has been playing some exceptional cricket this season. He really likes to play at the Chinnaswamy and his numbers do the talking. He loves playing against CSK, almost 1,000 runs.
And he's loving opening the batting. And I think that is his place now. Going ahead, I think that is his place. Going ahead, I won't be surprised if you want to have, you say, I don't know what the future with Rohit in international T20 is, whether you want to have Ruturaj opening or whatever, but I see Virat Kohli occupying that slot because he's going hard in the power play. now when the spinners come on, that's going to be the challenge. And if you ask me what is the one thing I'm looking forward to in this game, it is CSK spin versus RCB batting. Because Virat has struggled. I mean, struggle is a big word to use. He's just had the odd issue or two with the spinner. So I'd love to see spin versus Virat. To me, that is going to be the big contest today.
And those numbers we just saw, they go up at Chinnaswamy as well. So that's his entire numbers against Chennai. And you think about Chennai being a low, slow pitch, sometimes tough to score on. His strike rate at Chennai is only 111, but his strike rate at Chinnaswamy against Chennai is 140. And his average remains the same, about 39.14, I think it is. So his strike rate increases dramatically from those numbers when it changes from Chipok to Chinnaswamy. So expect more of those fireworks tonight. And I agree with Harsh. The only way that they can slow him down if he gets through that first 3-4 overs is spin. But who do they bring on? Does that mean Santner plays to take the ball away from? Because they're dominant with right-handers. RCB, they are dominant with right-handers in that top 5-6. They don't have a lot of left-hand options to bring up the order too much.
I'd also like to see, because they bleed so many runs in the power play, CSK don't have that big bowler in the power play.
Yes.
Deepak Chahar was their option. He was what Siraj is, what Trent Bolt is, what all these good swing bowlers in the power play do. But now that even Deepak Chahar is gone, I wonder if they'll want to start with spin early on, and I'd like to see Virat taking on the spin early on. That'll be a good contest.
We'll just have a look at the playing 11 of both the teams. If we can see Bangalore first, they come out to bowl a little more. I mean, no surprise there because they don't want to, change anything around when everything was fine. The last game, they chased down 175. So they've gone ahead with the same team.
Parnell's been really good. I mean, Vishak was brilliant the other night, but Wayne Parnell has been the difference in this side. They struggled for an overseas bowler to do the job for them inside that power play. Siraj has been outstanding. Vishak was superb the other day. We talked about those knuckle balls and slower balls. Their concern, I guess, in that lineup, Harshal hasn't been at his best.
No.
Hasaranga, only first game. We're not going to judge the season on one game only. That was their slight issue the other night, but they got away with it. So Harshal needs to just be back to some of that form that we've seen him in the last couple of years. What Purple Cap was it 2 years ago?
Yeah. They call him Purple Patel, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So I'd just like to see him get back to some of his sort of form. I don't think he's quite been at his best.
If you look down that side again, they almost don't need an impact sub because they've got 6 bowling options. And look where Wayne Parnell can bat.
Oh, wow.
So if Wayne Parnell, Harshal Patel are batting 8-9, Vanindu Hasaranga is a far better batter. I think the issue is DK is not fired so far. Lomror, DK, Shahbaz, Hasaranga, that combination, if they can keep going, because Parnell can bat.
That's why I was surprised the other night. I thought they pulled the trigger way too early the other night. I said it on commentary. They brought Anuj Rawat in before Hasaranga had batted and before Parnell had batted. And they took away, it didn't cost them. They won the game comfortably in the end. But it took that option of Karan Sharma away from them. And when Anuj Rawat came out, I think he got 17 off 25 balls or something. So he didn't actually make any impact whatsoever. Hasaranga's a good batter. Wayne Parnell's a very good, lower order hitter.
And if I'm not wrong, he came in at like 8.
Yeah,
Anuj Rawat, when he was opening the batting for RCB last year, he was opened almost 8-9 innings.
And they dropped Lomroy out, who offers them some left-arm spin. So I was really surprised they pulled the trigger very early the other night on that one.
Hasaranga's batting has started to grow. I mean, he could always bat, but I thought he was selling himself short. We've talked about this quite often over here. So his batting has picked up. And Parnell has always batted. If the 6
He's
balls
open
left,
batting at times in T20 cricket.
Parnell can go and hit the ball. So I don't think they need to
change and
mess
chop
around
so
too
much.
No, they don't.
Well, we have a look at Chennai's playing 11 because RCB is bowling first. Chennai's batting has been going all guns blazing. Ambati Raidu's in and Patirana's in because of Magala's. He split his webbing there, so we expected that to happen.
So they've got their 6 bowling options again. With Jadeja, no, they've got Patirana, Deshpande, Tikshana. Bangalore are bowling first, right?
Yeah,
so this is the batting team. So Raidu will go out.
Raidu will go out and
Raidu
one of their substitutes will come in. But it's a good, they're giving Shivam Dubey a long rope here, aren't they? He hasn't been at his best. And Dhoni talked the other night, their biggest issue was the not rotating the strike through the middle overs. He's not that sort of player, but he has to start to be.
He has to.
He has to just, cannot eat up dots and then hit the odd ball out of the park. He's got to be better in that middle order, and that's where their problem became. They couldn't rotate the strike. And that's one thing that, in his pomp, MS was brilliant at. Because he was so quick between the wickets, he could do it.
This is what Dhoni said after the loss, that I think in the middle we needed a bit more strike rotation. I don't think there was a lot for the spinners. If the wicket is slow, if it's stopping and turning, then I can understand. But with the set batsman and the new batsman going in, I don't think it was that difficult. So I think the ownership needs to come from the batsman.
You know, also when you rotate strike, suppose Raidu is batting or Rahane is batting alongside Dubey, and you're playing on a pitch that's slightly to one of the sides, then the left-hander has to keep rotating the strike so that somebody's hitting to the shorter end. And that is why that strike rotation becomes important even if you're hitting the big shots.
No, you brought it up. You said that the middle order was a problem because clearly the top order has been firing for them. But, you know, against Siraj, who's been bowling really well, if they lose those 1-2 wickets, it all comes down on the middle order. So they need to figure that out.
Yeah, they do. And Siraj has been brilliant up against left-handers. He's been so good shaping the ball back into the left-hander. So that battle with Conway, who gets a lot of inside edges, is going to be a key battle as well. And you're looking at the top three numbers compared to the 4 to 7 numbers for those top sides in the season.
What I'd like to see is those along with the strike rates. Because top three will always score more runs than 4 to 7. But 4 to 7 need to get that strike rate up. Strike rate is a big part of cricket. Currently on social media, strike rate is not a word everyone's very happy with. But it doesn't matter whether you're happy or unhappy. That is a reality.
Two experts who've spoken
but
a lot
that's
about
the
the strike
reality. You can't say I don't like the sun rising from the east.
Yes.
But it's a reality. It will. Strike rate is the reality of our times, especially if you're playing at Chinnaswamy. It's a strike rate game.
And strike rate comes down to whether you win or lose. And this is the one thing that a lot of people do not understand. When I talk about strike rate, in a chasing situation, you strike at 125 and you get your team home, that's fine. I've got no issue with that. But in a setting game, when you're having to set a total and you've only lost 1 and 2 and 3 wickets and your strike rate is 130 and you haven't pushed the button earlier. I mean, last night, I'm going to get more grief for this, right? Venkatesh Iyer and Nitish Rana, Rinku Singh were awful last night. When he was trying to go for that 100, it was all about a milestone. It was, no problem with it, but we have set too much of a standard on these milestones now. 50s and 100s, they shouldn't mean anywhere near as much as they do, particularly in this format of the game. They went through a 3-over period, 16, 17, 18, where they just dotted the ball around because a guy was looking for his 100. Now, if I was doing that and Rinku Singh was bashing it at the other end, I get it. I'd say that was okay. But Rinku Singh was trying to get one so that Venkatesh could get on strike and get his 100. Then he was trying to get one so that he could eke his way to 100. It was a very poor period of play.
In his defense, he went ahead and said that the scoreboard was not changing, is what Venkatesh Iyer said.
But
It doesn't matter. You still know that you haven't been hitting the ball hard. I mean, that was just it was a really poor period of play from Kolkata, and they got owned. 14 balls. So those 18 or 19 balls that they ate up in that partnership, I don't say it cost them the game, but I tell you what, it could cost them in their run rate situation because they should have got probably 20 to 25 more runs.
I thought the best approach, I saw that happen at the Eden Gardens, was where Harry Brook just took off.
Yeah.
And suddenly spin came on, and now Brook's strike rate has dropped to just under 100 against spin. Against pace, it was still 240, 250. Now, what Dooley was saying about Rinku Singh, at the other end, Aiden Markram's taking on spin, scoring 50 of 26. By then, the Pacers come back, boom. Brook's gone to 240, 250 again.
And all batters are going to get tired, and I get that. Like Harry Brook was cooked, and I think Iyer was probably getting tired. So you don't hit the ball quite as well, quite as hard when your mind's a bit tired, and all those things come into play. So I'm not saying it was entirely Venkatesh Iyer here. I thought that Rinku Singh had a job to do that he didn't do. He needed to be going hard, much like Aiden Markram was for Harry Brook. And both of them going at pedestrian snail's pace, I think it cost them a lot of runs.
Yeah, I've got a request. I've got a request. Keep the hundreds, that's okay. 100 still, sometimes batters make 100 and you lose the game, but that happens sometimes. But please do not measure 50s in T20 cricket. 50 has absolutely no meaning in T20 cricket. A 48 of 24 versus a 51 of 32, you know exactly which you will take every single day of the week. So I don't think we should measure 50s anymore. 50 is not a landmark in T20 cricket.
Well, we just hope this middle order listens to the pre-match show. Because
done, Saiyami.
I mean, they're getting sound advice. The game hasn't started, so they should be listening to Cricbuzz live. And the middle order should say, okay, we're going to go and strike hard because, well, Siraj, we spoke about at the top of the order, has been lethal. Siraj is somebody who has spoken in one interview. He said that, last year I was focusing too much on what other people thought of my game, what other people said I should do. But he said, this year I'm focusing on what I feel is right, and that's making me come in a better space, and we're seeing the results with that.
I mean, they are great numbers. They're great numbers. What I love about him, look, one thing I've loved about Siraj right throughout is always his aggression. I think he's a really high-quality aggressive bowler. When he stays nice and tall and he gets a little bit of swing, he's really upsetting left-handers in particular. Back into the hip, back into the thigh pads. I'm enjoying watching him bowl. He's good pace, 138, 140, 142, but it's that bounce. And when he's got a little bit of grass on that surface at Chinnaswamy, I think he's going to be very dangerous again. And I'm enjoying watching him, Harsh.
He always had, when I saw him early in his career, there was that outswinger that came in normally, and then he became a very good bowler, slanting the ball back in, but there was no outswinger.
Yes.
I think the change is that the outswinger has now returned. He's bowling a beautiful outswinger. Doull was talking about slanting it in to Conway. So that swing, I think, has made the big difference. Swing bowlers are doing very well in the power play.
And the little cutter, what did he get? Was it Yash Doull the other
Yes.
night with the cutter back in? And he's playing down Paddington line and it's gone down the tramway line, isn't it? I mean, it's just, you know, it was such
Western
a really...
and Central.
Yeah, good Western and Central. Western and Central.
No, but what
it's a
has
good-
impressed me a lot also is that he's still relatively new and young, but he kind of advised Vijay Kumar the other day, and he said that, you know, keep your nerves in check and don't let the occasion take the better of you. So he's already becoming this leader of the pack.
Well, he's an international player. He should be as well. I like that. You know, I think that's how... He's played a lot of cricket for a man young, and he's an international player. And you know, if a young guy needs a little bit of help or a little bit of just a little reminder to keep your mind clear, and that's all bowling is. I mean, batting's similar, but all bowling is a clear thought in your mind at the top of your mark. Now, if the batsman or batter at the other end changes their approach when you're about to let the ball go, you have an option or two, but you need to be very clear in your mind. And as long as that's the message he's portraying, I think it's good.
Looking forward to seeing Vaishak bowl. You know, it's interesting, at the start of the season, you ask people who are following domestic cricket and some names stick in your head. Now there's 17, 18 scorecards to read. So you can't go through every scorecard when you're following Ranji Trophy. So you go with the names. So I was told, watch out for Vidvat Kavirappa from Karnataka. He's got pace, he's a good bowler. And somehow I missed Vaishak in that because I was following only some names. And he's had a very good Mushtaq Ali, but I think he's also had a good first-class season. And I think it's very important. Moeen Ali said, when I'm bowling well in test match cricket, I'm bowling well with white balls. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him go. I'm looking forward to seeing that knuckleball that Kevin Peterson's going gaga about. So looking forward.
No, actually, even Faf spoke about it.
Yeah, he
because
did.
he said that in the nets, when I was practicing, I couldn't pick his slower ones.
Yeah.
So clearly, he is catching the eye of a whole lot of star players.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, again, as the more he plays, the more video footage. And this is what we see this so often, second season blues, second, third game. There's so much video footage and analysis out there now. They would have been studying. You just know that all of the batters would have been studying the last 2 days. Okay, what does he do with that now? When he runs in and bowls a normal delivery, does he actually have to push the ball back into... Because with the knuckleball, he has to push it back into his hand. You watch him tonight. Just watch him. His left hand comes across and it forces the ball back into the knuckles because you cannot hold on to it like that while you're running in. It'll fall out. So that left hand comes across and forces it in.
So that's the giveaway, you think?
But does he do that every ball? Even with his quicker one? That will be the key. So just keep an eye on that.
He'll be studied now. You didn't know what he's going to do. Like yesterday with Noor Ahmed. Suddenly, I don't know if you saw Hetmeyers telling Samson, no, he does this, and because he's seen a little bit of him in the CPL. Similarly now with Vaishak, they will know everything about what he's done so far. So it'll be a test for him today.
So I mean, now what I'm going to get to, Harsha is going to start laughing because I have a soft corner for somebody in the CSK team.
Corner.
But I really think Ruturaj Gaikwad and Ajinkya Rahane both have been beautiful to watch. They've come with this new confidence, both of them, if we can talk about, because Ruturaj Gaikwad has included the power hitting in his game. That's what he said he's been working on. And Ajinkya is somebody who I think has just been telling himself that I'll grab the opportunities when they come my way. And they both
Look,
have.
Ajinkya is now in a nothing to lose situation. It couldn't have got worse for Ajinkya Rahane. We all have a lot of time for him. But in the T20 game, he wasn't getting those breaks. So now, whatever he gets is a bonus. He's batting beautifully. What I like is he's not trying to be a different player. He's playing to his strengths. He's not trying to muscle the ball, which is not his game. Same with Ruturaj Gaikwad is younger. He's trying to play the bigger shots. If these two keep playing like that, there's a player who revels in anonymity. Quietly, without realizing it, Devon Conway will be 40 of 25, 26. He's not the player who says, come look at me, come look at me. Look at Ruturaj, I'm very happy. Look at Rahane, I'm happy. I'll keep scoring runs and you won't know that I've suddenly scored runs. So if Rahane and Ruturaj are going bang bang, it'll also help the kind of role that Devon Conway is playing in that side.
But Simon, you think, after those two knocks that Ajinkya has played, because like Harsha said, no one was expecting, it was all a surprise. Do you think that starts playing on a player's mind where you start, the devils start coming in, where you get the pressure saying, oh, I've had 2 good knocks?
I think that he's in the best place possible, and that's Chennai, in that dressing room. And you've got, we talk so much about Dhoni and Fleming and these guys and what they do and just the atmosphere that they create. And I think it's second to none. I tell you that Gujarat are fighting for it.
Yeah.
They have a brilliant atmosphere and that whole setup is superb. But Chennai I've always said, and I've said it many times on the show, very few players go to Chennai and come away a worse player. They all come away a better player. Anyone that goes there and plays. And that's the key. And Jinx will feel very comfortable in that environment.
MS would have told him. If MS didn't want to play him, he wouldn't have told him, ready Rena, I'm going to play you. He would have come straight up and said, look, I don't think I can play you this time, but stay ready in this kind of situation, I might use you. The thing with MS is he'll tell everybody, he'll tell them the truth. He won't tell them what they want to hear. He'll tell them how he plans to use them. So I think Rahane would know exactly what his role is. I know Dwayne Bravo told me that. He said, I know exactly what my role is, what I'm going to do in the side. That is what good teams do. So I hope he goes well on a good track. He can just keep timing the ball. So
I'm still trying to find. You said you had a soft corner for one player, then you named 2.
No. What she did was, she had a soft corner for one person.
Pick it.
Because she didn't want to make it too obvious, she said Ruturaj first.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. Apologies for being a bit slow.
So if she's doing commentary in vision, when Rahane is batting, you might just have to put a little string around it, a little seat belt around to ensure she's not jumping out all the time.
Okay, so it's Mumbai and Rahane. Now, I'm just sort of getting to know these things.
Right? No, it's cricket is the winner. It's always cricket is the winner. Cricket is the winner. Yes, cricket is the winner. But
I like the fact you're not trying to hide it. That's okay. We all have our preferences.
Like it's great.
Yeah, but I get the tips that I've been getting is I need to be more neutral are the tips I've been getting to avoid any kind of social media banter and any kind of social media noise.
You're not saying Rahane is the greatest that's ever walked the face of this earth. You're saying you like Rahane. That's okay.
Good. That's fine.
You like Santner.
You were in green.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're completely neutral in green. That's fine. There's no issue with that. You're not any yellow on. You haven't got red on. Everything's okay.
Oh, I really looked through my wardrobe saying I want to keep it neutral. I don't want to have any color support. But considering...
It's good to have a wardrobe to look at. When I get a call from the driver down there saying, are you coming? I grab a t-shirt and run.
What color blue today, Harsha?
No, but, there is, of course, a joy factor question which no one has answers to. But this question also is who is going to have more support today? Is it going to be RCB or CSK's? I think a question
RCB.
we don't...
Oh, no doubt RCB.
Yeah.
You're talking about RCB at the Chinnaswamy is one of the experiences. You have to, if you love cricket, you must go and watch MI playing at the Wankhede, RCB playing there, CSK playing in Chennai, and more recently, SRH playing in Hyderabad, which surprised me enormously. But I mean, there's no doubt.
No, it's just the Dhoni factor, right?
That's the one.
I get that as well. I was sitting watching last night's game with Pommy and Bangalore and Craig Cozier and Matthew Hayden, and the discussion came up. The best ground in India to watch a game. If you were a spectator and you had one ground to go to, and we all said Chinnaswamy. We all said Chinnaswamy, and Wankhede was second.
Oh, okay.
Just because of the noise of that 35,000 in Chinnaswamy just gets a little bit more, and the roof feels like it's going to come off.
Smaller
but
grounds, you feel
you feel like you're on top of the ground
echoing,
and on top of the game. But look, there'll be yellow in the you don't go there and see any other colour apart from red and black. And you very rarely see anything apart from 18. I did see a couple of De Villiers shirts the other day. They were a few years old, obviously, but you don't see much apart from 18 either. There will be some 7s and some yellow in the crowd tonight. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I guess the answer is towards RCB today, but we need to find answers to Mr. Joy Bhattacharya's questions because it's that time of the day. Is a joy factor question of the day. What strange link connects international cricketers Haddon, Murtaza, Bravo, Yunus Khan and Damian Martin?
Wow. That's very good.
I'm trying to say how many games they played for KKR, but
No, that's not the connect.
No.
I think we have all day to keep guessing.
Yeah,
because
All
of
night.
it.
All night.
Single season.
We'll figure it out. It's a good one. I like it. Because they're different eras as well. Yeah. There's some
He
very.
just twists the question and makes it so
Yeah.
complicated that you don't know which one to pick on. That's
Were they
what he
different
does.
eras or not really? Same eras. Mortaza, Haddon, Yunus, Damien Martin,
Darren Bravo later.
Darren Bravo, just a little bit later, but would have played in that 2000s.
Okay, we'll find out about
All right.
this in the post-match show, but we have to do something that yesterday both Paulie and Joyce and I got one each. So I finally got off the mark. So I'm a little happy because it's been like 7 days and I've finally gotten off the mark. So the prediction
Okay, start.
game- Oh, I start? Okay. CSK batting at the Chinnaswamy. I'm going to go with 185.
Which won't be enough. May not be
185.
enough. What do you think?
What did they lose with? 212. So I'll stick with that. 212.
I won't go that far, but I'll go 196. I mean, we're all assuming that Chinnaswamy is going to be like that, and we
Yeah.
saw Pommy and Haydos
Yeah.
doing the pitch report.
Well, I'd like to have seen the pitch
Yeah.
report, but I didn't really get to see it. So.
I'm going
So
196.
your excuses are ready. Your excuses are ready already. Before you want to, do you want to change it around? We'll give you a second. We'll give you a second. We'll be
Will you?
lenient there.
Should I go low?
No, go.
No, I'll stick with it. Let's stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 212,
196?
196, and 185. I'm really hoping that I get with another opportunity and I win this for the second time. But more than that, I'm really hoping that cricket is the winner today because there are
Yeah,
two
she got that in
superstars
again.
We'll wait and watch what happens. Don't forget to join us at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox. I'll see you all soon.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें